So a lot of things like women not being allowed to drive or something, that's not Islamic, that's the culture of that specific country. So, it's really hard to look at things so openly and really research what the facts are of things when there's so many, different prejudices. Everybody has prejudice, and there's so many different prejudices, so many different misconceptions, and, that's one of the things, and one of the points that the religion does make is that, God sent every nation, God had sent a prophet to every nation to preach and say that, there's only one God, you should worship this one God. So, every different people, and, people were sent to different nationalities and different, having this concept, and that there are some that, prophets that we don't know of, some prophets that we do know of, and some of them had books. Like we believe, the Moses had a book, Abraham had the book, David had a book, Song of Solomon's, and, we believe what we believe over time that, people have changed their religion, and the original documentation is lost, and that it's not in the same form and in the same practice that it was originally. And the reason why, that the need to keep on sending prophets and to keep on sending, books of guidance would be because man had changed, added his own word into, made alterations for culture, for, something. So when, one of the points that Islam makes, when prophets are sent, that some people, when they won't look at things optimistically and look at things truthfully because of, arrogance, because of this is a person from a different race, this is a person from a different color, this is a person from a different country and a different culture, and that doesn't, because of our own arrogance and our own prejudice, which God doesn't view men in the same way that we view men, that we won't accept that their ideas and their beliefs, even if it's the truth, because of arrogance in our own hearts, because of things. And that was one of the things, it really hit home for me and helped me to look at things optimistically. And, one thing that really did hinder me from converting was, it was so socially unacceptable to be Muslim. It's really, difficult to, be in a country and then be, a minority, and then be in a minority that has so much, prejudice with it, and has so much, bad attention from the media, and has so much, like false ideas with. I remember when, I was first considering that I was going to, get married and convert, and, it was really hard to tell my family that I, that had been like generations of Christian, some were Catholic, some were born again Christian, and this is, a Christian country. It was really difficult to, face the prejudice and the misconceptions of what people had to say to me, and just, social outcast because of, religious beliefs and knowing the difference. So it was a really big sacrifice, to go against what the norm of the culture is. It's really, wearing, covering and doing, practicing this religion. You get a lot of prejudice, and I think that's really something that hinders a lot of people from researching and accepting, is the misconceptions and the way other people socially you'll be perceived, and because you do make a lot of sacrifices and you have to face a lot of prejudice. When I had originally started telling my family, especially my grandparents, they were very old, they're 75, and they've been Catholic all their lives, and their great-great-grandparents have been Catholic, and I told them, and it really scared them, and they really were praying for me, they felt bad for me. That's a lot of misconceptions, and it's really hard to, once you believe that this is the truth, and that's what really prevents people from really researching and looking at things optimistically. There's so much prejudice you face, and there's so much misconceptions. And then I had ended up, getting married, and, started practicing the religion. I went over to visit my husband's family, and I was trying not to be, prejudiced, and trying not to, be nervous, but I was nervous because of so many different